Welcome to our Travel Talk Tuesday Livestream and podcast, where we explore destinations through conversations. On each one, we'll cover a place we've spent time in, share some tips, some of our adventures and perspectives, and answer your travel questions. Tonight is all about Helsinki, Finland.
What we know of it. That is Melissa.
Hello, that is Chris.
I liked it. That was way better than last time.
Well, I thought you were being like Conan last time. And so that you would just do the intros and then be like, and of course, I'm Christian Peterson. That's what I thought was going to happen.
All right. We got to try.
Welcome, everyone.
Hello.
Please make sure you drop a note and let us know where you're from or where you're joining us from. Did I jump ahead?
Honey, you jumped.
I'm just curious.
I don't know if you guys have returned to this. You probably noticed she's always jumping ahead. Just boop.
I'm excited to communicate.
You are very much. So we started 5 years ago.
Our travel channel, yes.
Where we've been?
We have traveled to 14 different countries.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how many different states.
That's a lot of states. I don't know either.
We've been together for almost 10 years and married for 5.
It's been very nice. Very much.
We've enjoyed it.
We lived in Canada for almost a year. Vancouver, delightful. We miss it often.
And we lived in 12 different cities in 12 months. Part of the reason we've been in so many different states.
Melissa loved that game plan. We also lived in Ireland for 3 months.
And I genuinely loved that game plan.
That was quite the experience. We also lived in Portugal for about 2 years. And this pretty much has happened all in the last 5 years, has it?
Correct.
Not? So yeah, we've done a lot of things. So where are we now?
Minnesota.
St. Louis Park, to be exact.
It's been cold.
Yes, it was minus 2 degrees Fahrenheit this morning when we woke up. We actually have not experienced a winter like this in like 4 years. Like actually experienced winter, have we?
5 years.
5 years, probably 5 years. So
it's been a while.
Yeah, and it hasn't been too bad. We kind of missed it.
It feels invigorating right now.
Mm-hmm.
In March, we might have a different opinion, but right now it's invigorating.
I think we're going to get really sick of it right around the middle of February. Then we're going to start complaining. Actually, I could complain right now because my feet are cold. Right now.
Chris can always complain. It's one of his skills.
Okay. All right.
If something starts with C.
You know what?
He's probably good at it.
Whoa. Okay. What do you do for a living, Melissa?
I am a travel planner. And I was at a wonderful road show yesterday with a bunch of folks who were very cold from Atlanta and Texas. Although they did have snow in Atlanta recently.
And Texas.
Yeah, and Dallas, so, yeah.
And I work in software. I've been working in software for quite a long time. But we both do this travel channel together. We've been doing it, well, we already said, for 5 years. I also have a little guitar channel for my little fun and where I can do whatever I want and I don't have to get Melissa's approval. And sometimes Melissa stars in videos. He's a rebel.
He's so rock and roll. Woo! I'll show you, lady. I'm going to rock out.
So please, if you're watching, well, of course, that doesn't make sense if you're watching because whatever. Tell us where you're from, where you're at tonight, what you're doing. And if you have questions about Helsinki.
Or if you've been to Helsinki and have something to add to the conversation.
Yeah.
Please do.
Yeah, we would actually very much like that. So Helsinki. It's not a place that we've been to. Well, we didn't spend a lot of time there.
You spent more time in Helsinki than I did.
So Melissa was writing an assignment for Travel and Leisure, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was for like the happiness of
Finland, I got to
basically.
do the happiness masterclass and write about finding happiness in Finland and how to go about it. It was a super fun assignment, and I went places Chris didn't get to go.
Yeah, and they had this whole curriculum things that she's going to do, and normally initially they said, "Oh yeah, your husband can tag along," and then I was just going to hang out in her hotel and do my work and stuff like that. Last minute, they're like, no, actually, you can't come along. So I'm like, whoa, I'm going to have to hang out in Helsinki. So I actually had about 5 days in Helsinki. But I was working and I wasn't doing a lot of travel stuff in Helsinki, but I did get some information about Helsinki, and I got a feel for Helsinki. So
you came up with the majority of our 49 things that are different about Finland list because of your time in Helsinki.
Exactly. So one of the fun things I like to do, I think Melissa's starting to like to do it, is when we go someplace, I find 49 things that I think are different or that are different that I've experienced there. And sometimes Melissa has some things. And so we did one on Finland, and it's been our most popular video ever. It's like almost got 200,000 views, which is crazy.
It is.
It's crazy. So so that's kind of how it all started. So
should we see the comments?
Not yet.
No?
Not yet.
I want to know where people are from.
Okay.
I want to know who's here.
All right.
Jeanette says hello.
There's Jeanette. Hello. Jeanette was early, actually.
Oh, yeah.
To the podcast. So cool.
Early's on time. Good job, Jeanette.
Mm-hmm. And
person after my own heart.
Steve's here. Welcome back, Steve.
Yes, Steven from Indiana.
And Eamon as well.
Eamon says hi, you guys. Woo! And I bet he's joining us from Ireland.
Yes.
Hello.
Maybe he has some Helsinki inside information.
Maybe.
It's probably, we're going to get the people that are up late at night if anybody from Helsinki is checking in. Because isn't it like 7 hours ahead?
At least 6.
I think it's 7 hours ahead. So they're 2 a.m. Let's see if we get anybody. All right. Okay. So that's who has commented thus far. I'm going to hide that.
Oh, and Gordon is here from boring Vancouver. What's boring about Vancouver?
Gordo, welcome. Vancouver's a blast, I think. All right. Should we do a little bit of travel basics about Helsinki?
Oh, sure.
Okay. Sometimes, these are kind of, common sense sometimes, I think, but sometimes not. Maybe you don't know. But, the language.
It's Finnish, and I don't know a word of it.
No. In fact, I feel bad. I didn't even learn one.
But one thing that was very exciting to Chris is that people seem to get his jokes. Remember in Finland? Because it was discouraging sometimes, or it gets discouraging sometimes when we're in a place where English, isn't spoken as much. And Chris wants to make a joke and can't get it across. And he's like, I don't think they understood that I was joking. Whereas in Finland, everybody giggled like at the appropriate moment.
Just like you do whenever I tell you a joke. Melissa's always giggling.
Ha, ha.
There it is. That's what I get when
he's pushing.
When I throw whatever. Okay, so the language is Finnish, but we found that everyone we came across spoke excellent English, so we were fortunate.
Yes, and I think all of the transportation must have been in English, or there must have been English available because I don't remember any hiccups.
Yeah.
Hair dryers, leave them at home for all of Europe. Just don't bring your American hair dryers.
No. And if you're going there, you do need adapters. Do we have one?
Ooh, I know we have one. I don't know if you have one handy. It's a European one, right? Just a regular one that we had in Portugal. Okay, it was the same one that you use in Portugal and several other countries. Sorry.
I think someone broke in and took it.
Yeah, okay.
Someone
Next thing you'll be saying all the kids are here or the grandkids showed up from out of state and just took it.
That's who hides everything and takes it.
They also leave things out mysteriously.
All right. Money. What's the money situation there? Euros. But every place we went to also took cards, and our cards worked, and they were super fast.
Yes. Oh, yeah. They were crazy fast there. That was one of your differences, wasn't it?
Yeah. We also like to talk about what to bring in terms of clothing. We were there in June, and we're going to get a little bit, Helsinki's way up there, way up north. But in June, it's delightful. But I think it was in the 70s every time. So obviously a light jacket, sweatshirt for the evenings, T-shirts and shorts work during the day or on warmer days. Some
I always had layers.
Layers are good. Layers are always good.
And if you're going north of Helsinki, I wore a winter coat
Oh yeah, yeah.
on some of the days. So
You're up there. So think about that. Now, saunas are huge in Helsinki and Finland. So if you're thinking of partaking in
a sauna.
a sauna, obviously you want maybe some swimsuit and flip-flops if you're bashful like we Americans are.
Well, we Minnesotans. I don't know if all Americans are as bashful as
Yeah.
us, but we are very bashful people.
Yeah. Because don't they like when they get in the sauna, aren't they usually just naked?
The folks I was with were not. They had a swimsuit on, although they were folks from all over the world. But sometimes I think, yes, naked is not abnormal.
No.
I don't know if it's super typical though either, because also I was with some Finnish people. And
maybe there are some Finnish people watching by now, and they're going to leave some comments and let us know if they sauna in the nude. I'm all bashful. Ooh, just even talking about it. Ooh, does it make? Don't you get bashful?
Well, I would always stay clothed or like swimsuit, but
yeah.
So yes, I'm bashful, but
all right. Our
their own.
Yeah, our transportation in Helsinki. Good train system. We used some Uber. Definitely have a lot of taxis, but we were cruising around on the subways or the trams pretty easily. It was pretty easy to pick up and pretty easy to do. And there's a lot of different lines that run. So if you're one that likes to do trains and trams, it's a good city.
There are also scooters, which we
did scooters.
And then was this a place? Did you double check? Was it in Helsinki that it was the taxi spelled TAKSI that you should not take?
So you remember that? Because we were talking about that. There was some.
Oh, I was asking if you had checked, if you had figured it out or not.
I did not figure it out.
It may or may not be the case that if you see a taxi TAKSI, and I do think it is the case, I believe we were told by the driver that picked us up from the airport to just not take those. They overcharge. I think that's what happened.
They might have been just battling though. I bet you we get in a TAKSI and they'll go, don't take the whatever company we were using. So you never know.
That's true. So I don't want to be slanderous, but I think that's what was.
You just ruined their business. The 11 million people that are watching this, they're not gonna.
You didn't hear it from Chris and Melissa.
Listen,
we're just trying to help you.
We get a letter tomorrow. We're getting sued. All right.
The entire Finnish government.
Okay, look at this. Look at this. Woo! Look at that.
That is fancy, Chris. That looks very nice.
Slick. Helsinki. We need a little song that comes up when this comes up. Don't you think? Okay. That is Melissa's no. Okay. So those of you who are, have a hard time with geography, I put this nice little map here. The blue dot is where Melissa and I are right now. Helsinki's up here. Look, it's at the very top of the world, pretty much. Not the very top, but close to the top. And then Helsinki is right here. Oh, no one can see my pointer, but it's to the right there. There's your Scandinavian countries. Not my favorite slide right there, Melissa. Okay, so when did we visit? Proof right here. We are in front of the Helsinki sign.
That we put up in our backyard too.
What? Yeah, and I built that
church.
That church back there. Okay, so we were there June 7th, 2023. And obviously summertime, very close to the summer solstice. Is that the word?
Correct.
So the days were very long. It didn't get dark until, in fact, it didn't get that dark, but it didn't get dark until almost midnight. And then we'd actually gone, now this is not about Helsinki, but we'd gone north to
Rovaniemi.
Yes, and it didn't even get dark there. So, because it was over the Arctic Circle. So you get a lot of light in the summertime, and that is I think a really cool thing. All right, next slide. Next. Okay, where to stay. So we didn't, like I say, we didn't spend a ton of time there. So I wouldn't say we didn't get exposure to all these neighborhoods, but certainly there are different places to stay. depending on the type of traveler you are. We were in the city center. There are actually two places, the city center, and then all hard words Melissa says.
Oh, sure. I'm not going to say all of those words. We hung out in the design district, but we did not stay there.
Yeah.
And let's see, Ira is best for history and culture, Tulu, best for culture lovers and nature enthusiasts. And I feel like we might have been over there when we went to
The cafe.
Relove. Okay. Yep.
Which
That's where
was-
we scootered over to. I'm not very good on a scooter, which is why I keep going, oh, every time I say it. And then Kataginoka. Again, I'm not, it's probably Katayanoka, but I'm not sure. We did stay there, and we stayed in a prison, which was fun. It was a hotel, but it used to be a prison.
Ooh, I almost jumped in with a joke that you get arrested and then we get thrown into. Okay, anyway.
All right. Chris was nervous when I was like, oh, here's the hotel. He's like, what? And I was like, well, you said to get an affordable one. And so I did. It was also very nice.
Yeah, don't get
too ahead. All right.
But obviously you have different neighborhoods you could check out based on how you wanted to travel. We're all about researching these places. But there's always seems to be a place where most tourists go first. Yeah, it's probably going to be safe to try that first. We very much enjoyed the city center. I spent, like we talked about, I spent 5 days there walking around by myself. I was having a great time. It was just super pleasant.
And as you talk about walking around, I think one thing that's important to share is it's a very safe city.
Oh, yeah.
I talked to a couple of women who are from Helsinki while I was on assignment. And when I was asking about, well, do you feel safe? Is it okay to be out at, whatever time? Because they were talking about their younger days. And they were like, I never worried at all. Didn't even think to.
It's cool. And it's a very easy city to walk around. It's mostly flat.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not a lot of hills. If you're a person that does not like hills, then Helsinki might be your place. Okay.
And the sidewalks are wide. In most of Europe, sidewalks are not wide, but there we could walk side by side, and it was so nice.
Mm-hmm.
We enjoyed that.
It was the greatest thing ever, honey. The best. Okay. So we stayed at two different places that I would recommend both places.
Oh, yeah. They were both fantastic.
Nice. The first place and the place I spent most of the time when Melissa was up doing her assignment was the Scandic Helsinki hub. It was right in the middle of everything. And I walked everywhere from there. The rooms were super nice. Service was super nice. I had a great co-working space. So I'd go and do some work in the co-working space, a very pleasant, very nice place to stay. So
wasn't there something with ordering coffee and it?
Yeah.
What was that? Or were you going to share that?
They had see this. These are all on videos. If we've done a couple of videos, so but yeah, it was I came across a couple of things there at the hotel that I was like, well, this is interesting or this is nice. But yeah, when I was working in the co-working space, they had like a little kiosk thing that you could just say, oh, I want this, and this, and then bam, it'd show up at your little workstations. It was nice. Very nice.
Was it like ordering on an iPad and then somebody delivered it to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was nice. The second place we stayed was the prison Melissa was talking about earlier.
Yes. It was beautiful inside.
So on the outside, it does look a little scary. Except for the sign. That sign looks very modern and cool. And this is the entrance on the left here. And was this our room or not? Or is this
it's close.
Our room looked very much like that. I just don't remember that couch there. But yeah, and then this is the section where they had transformed it into rooms, but if you've been to any old prisons in Europe, they kind of look like this with the stairs. And yeah, so think about that. That used to be a prison, but now it's a cool hotel. So I definitely would recommend staying here as well. It's, I think it's a little south of the main city center, but it's very close to the city center. It's still, I think, very walkable. Maybe a little bit more of a haul than if you're in the city center. but it's in a nice area.
Oh, for
You
sure.
remember?
Yeah, and weren't we kind of close to the like where ships were coming in, or
I think we were pretty close to the bay there, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
it was when we went. It was owned by Marriott. It is now, I believe, privately owned. So
Okay.
hopefully, still as lovely. It still has great reviews, so I think so. But I was just checking on it the other day. Should we check out our comments, honey?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Just to make sure we're not neglecting anyone. All right, cold and mini. Yes, Gordon, it is. Very much so. I think, was it like -3? Negative
Yes.
something?
Yes. Yes. Very good. And that is in Fahrenheit. So I don't even know what that is in Celsius, but
Yeah.
it's cold.
The Groovy Adventures of Jeff and Sonny say hello.
Hi,
Welcome
guys.
back.
Hi.
And Eamon says that he has never been to the Nordic countries. Looking forward to hear your suggestions.
All right. So we've started to give some.
Yes. And Guinevere says, yeah, Finns are naked in sauna.
Yeah, I was reading like a family that the mom and dad and the kids would just hang out in the sauna, and they just, there's nothing weird about this.
Well, and I think that creates a healthier culture and some like a culture without so many hang-ups. I believe.
I would have a hard time. Oh, Jeanette's
Jeanette.
back. Hi,
Jeanette.
Jeanette.
Welcome back. And Stephen asks, did you get beaten with a pine or birch bow in the sauna? No, we did not. I did go on a sauna that was on a boat. That was my most interesting sauna experience in Finland.
Oh, this is interesting. Finland is not Scandinavian.
But Nordic. Remember, I noticed in my 23andMe, I'm 0.7%.
You can't say
Finnish,
because there's a quiz question coming up.
But you have it as a Scandinavian question, and that would make it less valid.
So Norway and Sweden are the only Scandinavian countries then? Well, we learn something new every day.
Possibly. I'm not sure. Perhaps Guinevere knows.
Perhaps.
Gordon says Helsinki is 60 north latitude. During the summer solstice, the sun is visible for 18 hours and 52 minutes at the 60th north parallel.
Nice.
Very good.
Yes. So it's a very
lots of sun.
It's a very long day. Well, the day again is just 24 hours, but the amount of it's quite nice.
Lodging prices, Sonny and Jeff asked. I think okay, on the first one, you would know because the first night was picked up. You don't. Okay, so on the second one, I want to say it was around 180 euro, maybe 220 euro, but it was pretty reasonable, I feel. Now, when we're talking Helsinki and hotels, I think it was right around there. It wasn't too crazy.
Yeah, I do have to confess, I never seem to remember those matters.
I don't want to look it up right now, but I did do a blog post on that hotel, the Karjanoka, and it is on our Chris+Melissa website. And I know I put the price in there. I'm pretty confident that I did because I usually try to do that on those.
We'll have to try to get those links in the description of this
we'll
video
do links in the description
after the live chat or the live stream, not the live chat. Steve. Hi, Steve. Welcome.
From California, visited a friend many years ago, and
you guys can read it. You guys can read it.
At her family home sauna, the men went in naked and had snacks in the backyard. The women were bringing things outside. Very uncomfortable.
Yeah, I suppose, but I bet you they were not uncomfortable, right?
But yeah, I think if you grow up with it, it's one thing, and if you don't, it's another.
Exactly. Oh, that'd be so hard. Back to weather. I'm a little bit more comfortable with this.
Gordon says the coldest Vancouver has ever been is 1 degree negative.
We got you beat.
Fahrenheit. By a lot.
Several days this week we have. Steve says,
A friend from high school lived in Finland for many years, said Sweden and Denmark tend to cost less for lodging and food than Finland, but Norway is higher in general.
See, this is why we have Travel
Talk Tuesday.
People that have, we can't know everything, can we?
No, and it's so nice to get everybody's insights.
Exactly.
And then we all get to know more.
Exactly. All right, you want to go back to that exciting slideshow?
Yes. All right. Oh, I love this because it's Mary Mecco. I absolutely love Mary Mecco design. So things to do. Stroll around downtown.
I thought just a really fun thing to do was just in the city center, just walk around. Again, it's safe, it's so pleasant. The weather's nice. It never got hot. You got a ton of daylight. It's not super crowded and busy. We're there in the summertime. I still don't think it's a huge travel destination, considering some that people go to around the world.
Right. It's picking up a bit, but then at the same time, Finland's struggling a bit because they used to have a lot of people coming from Russia to do their holidays. Maybe not so much in Helsinki, but in Finland as a whole. And now they can't. And oh shoot, there was another point I had, but I can't remember. But yeah, it's not as big of a spot. It's picking up a little bit with Americans going there a bit. And I think it's fantastic and a really good choice of a place to go, even if you've never been to Europe before, even if it were like the first place on your list.
Yeah, and when I was there by myself, I found food was delicious, and certainly it's a city with a lot of international flavors. So I was having tacos, I was having Thai food, I was having pizza. It was. In fact, the hottest wings I've ever had, chicken wings, were in Helsinki. I couldn't even finish them. And I'm a guy
wow.
I like hot food. And I ordered chicken wings. And I'm like, well, I'm up way north, because usually we live in Minnesota, which is I felt is very much like Finland, the feel of everything somewhat. And in Minnesota, it's like nobody wants anything spicy. Everyone's like, oh, but I love spicy stuff. So I'm thinking I'm going to order the spicy wings because they're probably not even that hot here. Oh my gosh. I could only eat like half of them. In fact, thinking about it makes my tongue hurt. It was bad.
Poor honey.
Yeah, it was great, but it was bad. Okay. So yes, walking around, there's plenty of places to eat. And just fun, and a lot of cool architecture, a lot of cool buildings. I came across this really cool old car that I had to take a picture of. I kind of feel like an old guy taking a picture of an old car. Oh my God, look at that! It's an old car. You missed it, huh? See, I got to see this. Melissa didn't.
I did not.
Poor Melissa.
Denied.
Oh.
Live music. No. I wasn't there, so.
So I even ventured out and found some live music. There's a lot. Helsinki is known for a very active live music scene, all different genres. I like the more rock side of things. I didn't go too crazy heavy, but I did a recording of some. Here, let me show you some live music there. It won't be a ton of live music, so hang on. Media assets. Okay, here we go. Oh, that was awesome. Did you guys? Okay, I gotta say, in the comments, did anyone?
Could you switch
it? We're right here.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So in the comments, do you guys see the drummer? Can you guys tell me who you think that drummer is? Like, who does he look like? A popular American comedian? Put it in the comments. First one gets it right wins wins that old car that you saw in the picture. I'm just kidding. That's not going to happen. Just so you know. Very punk. Oh, wait. Yeah, Steve said very punk. Yes, it was. It was a good show. I had a good time. I felt a little awkward. I also felt a little old, but yet nobody looked at me like I was a weirdo or anything like that. Which, again, I think sometimes I wouldn't do it in the United States. But we've heard in Europe that there's less ageism.
Correct. And somebody did just get it. Well, isn't that special?
I thought the same thing.
Steven, you got it. Steve, you got it. Dana Carvey.
Yeah, I thought he looked just like Dana Carvey, but he was so fun to watch because, as you could see in the video, he was having so much fun, and you gotta just love that. You know, it makes me giggle.
As you can tell, so much joy.
So, if you like live music, there's a lot of places, and you don't have to go and see that kind of music. There's definitely other kinds of music, although I did not pursue those other kinds of music. Oh, yeah, that was to remind me. All right, certainly there's a lot of landmarks to check out. And honey, I wish we would have checked out the Rock Church.
I wanted to, yes, but we did not have time.
So there's like a church built in rocks, and it's really old and stuff. But yeah, there's certainly cool things to check out. I think some of the biggest landmarks are like the Helsinki Cathedral
and the Uspensky Cathedral.
Yeah. You obviously see those just walking around the downtown area of Helsinki. Again, a very pleasant city to walk around and really cool, very clean, very nice, very organized.
And quiet. That's another thing with Helsinki and Finland in general is people aren't very loud. It's not like they talk super quietly, but if you're on a subway, it's not a lot of loud conversation. It's subdued, and we're going to keep that conversation between us, not share it with everybody on the train or not share it with everybody in the restaurant, which we're from Minnesota. We really like that. We're quiet folk.
Yeah, it's even in restaurants, it didn't seem like it ever got too crazy and loud. Yeah, it left a nice impression on me, and I would love to go back to Helsinki. Now, we had talked a little bit about this. Obviously, there's all kinds of things you could do, but Melissa actually got to do some sauna type things on her trip. I wasn't about to do any, but it's, obviously it's huge in the culture, and there's a ton of, I shouldn't say ton, but there
are public saunas.
A lot of public saunas. And one just downtown right by the bay. And it's really, and just the architecture is really cool as well. So if you want to experience something like that, you certainly have the option to. Would you ever go to this one right here?
I'd go to it, I think, but I sauna'd with strangers. But I mean, ones that I was chatting with.
Now, this is another place I wish we would have went. The Sea Fortress. I'm not going to try the Suomenlinna. We've heard a lot of good things about that. When we would tell people, "Oh, we went to Helsinki," like, "Did you check out the fortress?" I'm like, "Oh no, we did not."
We need to go back to Helsinki.
But we always love going to UNESCO World Heritage sites. They are always tend to be awesome places to visit. And it's a fortress built back, I believe, in the 1500s. To protect the area. So it's definitely, I've heard a lot of great things about it. It's like you can go to the island, you take a ferry there, and obviously you can walk around, check things out, but there's places to eat, things to do. Yeah. So that's something you could do if you went to Helsinki.
Although, before we move on to that, I think we should check out Steve Williams' comment.
Okay, here we go.
That church is iconic. I'm guessing the Uspensky one, and I apologize because there's a very good chance I'm saying that wrong. You'll have to return. It is quite beautiful. Uspensky Cathedral.
I think I'd heard that we didn't actually have a chance to go inside either of these churches, but I'd heard that was it the white one? They said it wasn't that exciting on the inside. It was kind of
I think
If I
so.
remember right, I heard it wasn't that spectacular on the
So
inside.
that's why I think it's the Uspensky one.
If anybody knows, let me know. But yeah, definitely. Yeah, it looks like it. Again, we always like going to an old church. The history. Melissa's just
That's my
looking.
Chris.
That's okay, Chris. All right. So, here, can I get rid of this? Okay. Hang on a second.
Technical. Things to do as far as eating and drinking in Helsinki. This image is from Tulu Cafe. And it's a spot that was recommended to me by Tina, who actually has a B&B type of a setup in Fiskars, Finland, like the place famous for the scissors. And she's a designer, and she was like, oh my gosh, you guys, you need to go to this Tulo Cafe. It also has a Relove store attached to it. So there was this really cool consignment shop where I was able to pick up a Burberry polo for a good price and some Mary Mecco pants, and it was really nice. It just had a very cool aesthetic. And this is the Boss Girl brunch, which obviously I had to have.
Boss Girl? The
Boss
Boss Girl.
Girl
Oh,
brunch.
yeah.
Not bossy girl, just boss girl.
And then there was the Haita Lati Market Hall. Remember that?
Yes, I do. I had a really good potato there.
Yeah, that was a cool place because there was a ton of different restaurants on the inside, just a very active, a great place to go for lunch, right in the downtown, very close to the bay, down to by the water. And yeah, just a really, really fun place to go. And certainly any kind of food you could, I think I had some Chinese food there. It was delicious. I don't know if it was Chinese, but it's something Asian, some Asian food I had there. It was really good. And you had a potato.
I did. I had a potato with other stuff in it, and it was
the
delightful.
Irish girl had a potato. Surprise, surprise. We went to the, and this was our favorite place.
Bunam. We need to go back to Helsinki just to eat at Bunam again.
Yeah, it was I'd say a very upper scale Thai restaurant. It's recommended. Like, where did you hear about it? Or
it might have been in the Michelin guide. I can't remember if it was in Michelin or not, but there's a good chance that it was.
But we had a great time there. It was such a fun time. The food was some of the best I've had in a long time. And I would love to go back. And this is all food that we had. There's like sausage on the stick over here on the left. And then I forget specifically what we had, but it was delicious. Whew. I'm getting hungry looking at that. Did you eat the flowers?
I don't think so.
Scaredy cat. I don't think I did either. That's really all we have in terms of Helsinki pictures and advice. It's not one of the places we've been exposed to as much as some of the other places we've gone to. But as I said earlier, we're super delighted with the city and would definitely go back. And we did do a video on our day in Helsinki, and it shows, lets you certainly see the city. It was every day was beautiful when we were there too, and see some of the things we did do. I oddly thought I remember putting the design museum stuff in here because we went to the design museum.
Yeah, we went to. That's why I looked surprised.
I know.
Where's the design stuff?
I know. It's like, where to go?
So there's a museum dedicated to design. It's just called the Design Museum. And in it, you can see Mary Mecco stuff. You can see virtual reality stuff. You can see Angry Birds, because Angry Birds was invented in Finland. And also, I think it was the Alessi, Alessi glass vases that are very famous, iconic. And you can also see the baby box that Finns get. It's this program throughout all of Finland that it doesn't matter what your income is. You could be super wealthy, you could be super poor. You are getting a baby box with everything that a baby needs in it. It's just something the government does and has done for years. We were also right next to the design museum, although it has changed a bit because it was under construction when we were there. There was the architecture museum right next door.
Yeah.
And we were able to, I think we paid maybe €5 more to go also to the architecture museum. And like the evolution that Finland went through, I think in the 70s, as far as the architecture goes and making things more, how would you just, it's not like more open concept, I don't think, but just, they did some cool stuff with their housing that you have to go to that museum to see, because I cannot remember it all.
We might have to rewatch our own video.
I know.
I think
It's probably in the video.
I think we say something in there.
And Steve Williams, though, says, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I was going to go in there.
Sorry for the delay in comments, Steve says. I was talking about the church in the rock. Tempeliaukio Church. Ooh, I don't know if I said that right. But yeah, and I think it's supposed to be famous for its acoustics, too.
Yeah.
I think so. So
I wish I would have looked into it. Just looked when I was putting this together, all the pictures of it. I was like, oh my gosh, I was there and I missed it. No, darn it.
And then Eamon says, Nordic countries would be a weekend trip to a city there. UK and Ireland folk like a warmer climate. I suppose you get enough rain and cold.
Yeah.
Whereas we get eventual mega heat and humidity in the summer.
Yeah, it actually gets pretty darn hot in Minnesota, believe it or not. All right, your favorite time of the live stream, yours, or maybe it's your guys's. Your guys's.
It's definitely Chris's.
Oh, it's mine. Oh, yes. Woo-woo. Okay, I'm gonna get ready here.
Chris loves a quiz.
Quiz time. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, whoops. Now I gotta hang on. I gotta get rid of this comment. Okay, you guys ready? Again, as I said, in every time we do these live streams, no cheating, no pulling up your Google and searching. We have ways of knowing if you did.
Yes, honey, we have ways of knowing.
Stop it. Okay. Throughout its history, Finland has been ruled by 2 other countries. Name them. Here we go. Name them. No, that's
earlier.
That's not it, Gordon.
Gordon says sausage on a stick.
They were not ruled by sausage on a stick. Yeah, I think he must have spotted at the Thai place.
Yes.
Okay, here we go. I think everyone's searching Google right now.
I think somebody knows.
Do you know these?
Oh, Stephen just guessed it, and so did Gordon.
Ooh.
And my little brother Tony did as well. Hello, Tony.
So the winner, Steve got it in first, but he was kind of unsure. Do we accept it? Because he has question marks.
Well, it's being humble.
Okay.
I think, not being presumptuous. I'm thinking Russia and Sweden.
Steve, you win. What's the prize this week?
It's your quiz. You come up with a prize.
If you message us, I'll send you a picture of that old car. I won't send you the old car, but if you were watching earlier, there's that picture of the old car. I'll send it to you. That's the prize. I'm sure everyone's going to look at this. All these people. These people are smart, or they're really fast. You guys are really fast on your keyboards, right? I did not actually know this until we were there. Did you know it?
Oh, not before we were in Finland. After we were in Finland, I knew it.
Ooh, Gordon thinks Sweden also ruled Norway. It's possible. These are not things I know. All right, you guys ready for the next one? Next one. Here we go. Helsinki's nickname is. Do you know this one, honey?
I don't.
I didn't know it till. Here we go. No Googling. I suppose if they don't know, though, what are we going to do? Maybe
you said you had special powers and you would know.
Oh yeah. Here, hang on.
Don't forget your powers.
Okay, here we go. And I guess it's just a matter of who's the quickest at looking up information. Now, once you hear it, you'll go, "Oh, that makes sense." Gordon's guess is Xiaomi. No, I think that is the name of Finland, or it's a name that they've used forever, and they don't even know the source of it.
Oh, wow!
From what I recall reading earlier today.
And Tony says, "Isn't there multiple correct answers?" I don't know the answer.
That's not according to this quiz.
Chris is in charge of Travel
I'm the
Talk
professor.
Tuesday.
I'm the professor here. Look at this. Why is everyone taking so long? Okay, I'm gonna wait another 10 seconds.
Okay.
Here's a clue. It involves a color, and think of the climate. And it starts with the word the. Okay.
Let's see. Stephen adds that the Finnish name spelled Suomi, he thinks. Okay.
Which is for, I think, Finland. I don't think it's for Helsinki.
All right. 10 seconds has passed.
Okay.
You did good.
It is the White City. That's what the internet told me today.
And then is it because of the buildings or?
Well, it's good job. See, I like it when the students pay attention to the rules.
Steve is not Googling.
Way to go. Way to go, Steve. Yeah, so it's the White City. Okay, next quiz. Name the dude who founded Helsinki. Do you know this one?
Well, I know it because I've noticed that the answers are on the
Oh,
notes
you're
in front of
cheating?
me. I'm not cheating because I'm not answering and I'm disclosing that I just noticed that the answers are right in front of me.
Okay. You don't actually, if you guess what he was, that also helps. Name the founder of Helsinki. What do you?
Gordon says, Tony, I'm coming to get you. Answer fast.
Oh, so Steve, I Googled, but didn't answer. Uh-oh. So he knew, but then he didn't answer. Well, that's fair.
The Groovy Adventures of Jeff and Sonny have an answer. Bill. I named him Bill.
Well, you never know what they called him. All right, here's a clue. He was a king of a land.
Eamon says Mr. Finn.
Mr. Finn. Okay, I don't think everyone knows. It was the Swedish King Gustav back in the 1500s. Is that cool or what? Okay, it was way cool.
It was.
Okay,
this
one's a little better. Okay, here we go. A person living in Helsinki is referred to as a Helsinkian, a Helsinkoba, or a Helsinkton. Which one do you think it is? This might be a trick.
It might not be any of them. Chris likes naming people.
King Bill. People are getting loopy. All right, so this one you have 1 in 3 chance of getting it. So whoever gets it first. Ooh. Oh God! What?
Oh no!
That was not one of the options, Gordo. Okay, the Groovy Adventures, Helsinki, and oh look, Tony.
Helsinkian.
It's a Helsinkian. The other 2 were invented by me.
If you ever encounter anything that ends in a bot that Chris has made up, there's a fairly good chance that it's been made up by him. And Steve Williams has it right, and Eamon.
Heldinkian.
That's the D and the S are close together.
Oh, okay. All right. Whew, we are cooking now. Again, the prize is if you message me, I'll send you the picture of the cool car that I took when I was in Helsinki. That is a cool prize.
I don't know. I think last week's prize was better. Oh, Tony said something else.
Oh,
I mean, what else could it be?
Exactly. Common sense ruled the day there. Okay.
What question is next, Chris?
In Helsinki slang, the city is called Koldaton, Stadi or Hell?
The answer is not on the sheet in front of me. You only had some of the answers there. The rest are just in your brain.
This one I knew. This one I know. Oh, boop, boo-doo. Steve wins. It is Stadi, which is the Swedish word for city, I believe.
Ah, okay.
And it is probably hell in the wintertime, in the dead of winter.
Gordon says Tony's getting a little overconfident.
Cold a ton. Thanks for picking the Groovy Adventures, because that was a fun one I came up with. Cold a ton. All righty. Look at this. People are, I think it's good to do the multiple choice, because then you know they're not Googling, right?
Yeah. Oh, hell is in Poland, Steven says.
Oh, they're. All right, this is a fun one.
Ooh, and there is a drink that came out because they hosted the Summer Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
You don't have it in there, do you?
I don't have the
I didn't
drink.
jump the gun on that? Okay.
I don't have the drink, but.
And I found it to be delicious. I can't remember exactly which year it was.
And because they did, from what I was reading, because they did the Olympics, it kind of put Helsinki on the map. Like, oh, hey, this is a nice little city. The world pretty much ignored it before that, I think. Gordon takes a guess.
1960.
You are very close, kind of around that time frame. Ooh.
Tony suggests 1966.
Tony, wrong way, Tony. Wrong way. Eamon went for 1920. I like these guesses. Eamon, you went too far. That's just too far. Okay, here we go.
Ooh.
Nope. You guys are getting close. All right, here's a clue. It's in the 50s. Are you excited?
I'm excited.
Look it. There we go.
Little
there
brother Tony. 1952.
1952.
That is correct.
A long time ago.
Oh, and Gordon points out that there was not an Olympics in 1966.
Oh.
But just so we don't, leave everybody hanging, the long drink.
Oh, yeah.
That was a drink that they came up with for the Olympics. I believe it had something to do with their liquor laws and where they wouldn't allow hard liquor.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's what it was. It was something like that. But basically, it's like a gin and tonic in a can. And it is very good. They were doing the canned cocktails before anybody else, as far as I know.
All right. Now, Tony, you're not eligible to answer this one.
And really, this doesn't relate, as we learned. Who is more Scandinavian?
Okay. Who's more Nordic/Scandinavian?
Wow.
Melissa or Chris? Yeah, it's kind of rigged.
Now Gordo's getting cocky.
All right, Steve guesses Chris, which is me. Both.
Oh, well, we both had broke our noses, so it does make sense to say both.
Yeah. Tony, I know you know, but you can't answer because you're family, so.
Neither for the win.
That's a good guess. All right, I'll wait a little bit longer for all the people sitting there just, who is it? Chris or Melissa? Chris or Melissa? Okay, I think you should tell them, Melissa.
Well, that's if I'm right. What if I'm wrong? I didn't look at your percentage. We discussed it at lunch, but maybe you're withholding information from me.
Okay, I'll tell. Melissa is much more Scandinavian / up in that area than I am.
Although I'm only 0.7% Finnish.
Okay. But I was thinking like 3 countries up there in that section when I made the question before I learned that it's not Scandinavian. But I'm 9%. And you are how much percent? It wasn't like,
It was 43%.
yeah,
It was 43, 44.
she's
something.
almost half.
All of my ancestors
Half
are
Irish.
Northern European.
So half Irish, half Scandinavian. Me, I'm just all over the place.
Well, no, really, Tony wouldn't know that.
Oh, yeah, I suppose not.
And Eamon guessed me.
Way to go, Eamon. I think you have a Scandinavian look to you, but you also have an Irish look to you, too.
Well, I'm Scandinavian and Irish, so I guess that makes sense.
All righty, guys. That's pretty much all we have on Helsinki and our little adventure to Helsinki. It was a good time. Good time.
Yes.
We'd definitely go again. We would definitely go again. Yes.
Those Randy Vikings.
Yes.
Exactly.
I don't know if you guys are into the NFL, but whew.
Oh, well, but the Vikings were in Ireland and the Vikings were in Norway.
Yeah, so
those Randy Vikings.
Yeah.
But our Minnesota Vikings, whew, that was disappointing last night.
Very disappointing.
Which is not related to travel at all, but oof. Until next time, Tony, study up. All right. Well, we should get going now. Are we going to be here next Tuesday?
Oh, we will announce that, but we're probably going to be moving to doing this 2 times a month, just because our travel has been picked up and we've been finding it difficult to fit all the stuff in, and we have actual videos to make. We're finishing some up on Hawaii, and then we've got some off the beaten path travel videos coming up. So unless you guys clamor and beating down the door and saying, we need a Travel Talk Tuesday every Tuesday, we're probably going to move towards that.
Right. And sometimes we won't be able to help it because I know during an upcoming Tuesday, we'll be in Michigan. So.
Yes. Go Rams. Well, I wish them the best. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh, yes. Okay. There was an article recently about Viking genes all over Europe with all that raping and pillaging.
Those Vikings.
Yeah.
That is. Anyway.
I'll just claim the females in my heritage.
Yeah.
How about that?
All right. Cheers. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it.
Yes, very much so.
Good time. Always a good time.
And we love what we get to learn too.
Exactly. Yeah. We actually have learned a lot. Very much so. All right, guys. See you next time.
All right.
Bye. Bye.